All right, just want to talk about the upcoming trip in January 2025. We will be going to Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, and Spain. And that's going to be from January 12th through the 27th. So, right now, just going to go over all the details of the trip, the tour itinerary. There will also be plenty of time on there for you to go, pardon me, and explore on your own. But we're just going to go over everything, the whole entire trip from the 12th through the 27th, going over all the pricing, hotel accommodations, in country flights, everything, so that you know exactly what the tour is going to be about. As you can see up here, this just some pictures from Egypt, from Tunisia. This is Casablanca, Morocco, and then we also have Granada, Spain up here. That's the famous Alhambra. All right, and when we make that journey from wherever you are, if you're in North America, from we'll all be making that international flight from our home to Cairo International Airport, Cairo, Egypt. And while in Cairo, of course, we'll start exploring Cairo, but we're also going to go to Luxor, Egypt. So we will be taking a short flight to Luxor, Egypt to explore the Valley of the Kings and all the amazing things in Luxor. And then we're going to fly back to Cairo. And when we're done with the Egypt portion of our journey, we will be flying to Tunis, Carthage International Airport. That's in the capital of Tunisia. And we will be, of course, exploring Tunisia. And then once we're done with that part of the journey, we will be flying to Casablanca, Morocco. And while in Casablanca, Morocco, we're going to make a journey to the city of Marrakech, Morocco, then back to Casablanca. And then the last leg of our tour will be flying to Granada, Spain. Right? I believe it's a connecting flight to Madrid and then to Granada. And that's the last leg of our tour. Then everybody will be catching their flights back home. Okay, so just wanted to go over that briefly, just so that we all know, have a good idea, in our heads of where we're going to be at. When we get to Cairo, okay, remember that Cairo portion will be from January 12th through the 20th, so that will be 8 nights, 8 full nights. When we arrive on the 12th, of course, we're nothing's planned. It's just an opportunity for everyone to relax and recoup. If you want to hit the floor running, of course, that will be up to you. But some people may not be getting in into the night. Some people may get in and have the whole day. So that's completely up to you. But however, that very next day, the 13th, we do have a tour planned for those who are interested. Now, one thing as I go over everything that's on the itinerary, if there's anything that you're not interested in doing, of course, you can let us know. We can remove that, from your itinerary, right? That's totally up to you. But on the 13th, we have just a 3 hour tour plan. So it's not taking up your whole day, right? You have the evening, the afternoon, and everything. But during the daytime, we were going to go to the Grand Egypt Museum in Giza. And that is a 3 hour tour. In addition to going to the museum, there's some other things you can see over here on the overview. It says Cairo is a foodie's dream, right? Hundreds of places to sample Egyptian cuisine. So this Cairo tour guide that we'll have will also take us on a Cairo food tour. Okay. And they're going to show some of the off the beaten path establishments, right? Food and snacks will be included. Hotel pickup and drop off is going to be included, as well as the tour guide. And then also entrance tickets into, for example, into the Egyptian Grand Egyptian Museum, right? That's in Giza. And so you can see some of the additional information on here on the side, just saying the confirmation will be received at time of booking. Infants must sit on laps if you have infants. It will be wheelchair accessible. Child rate applies only when sharing two paying adults. Stroller accessible near public transportation. Infant seats available. Transportation is wheelchair accessible. Right. Most travelers can participate. This tour activity will have a maximum of 15 travelers. That's operated by Ramasai Tours. So that will be on the 13th, which is the second day when we get in. And so it's not just going to the museum, right? And then just going over what to expect. This is just speaking about the 13th, right? The 12th is just, getting in, recouping. But on that date, right, the tour guide is actually going to come to the hotel to pick us up, right? And they'll guide us through, you know, different aspects of Cairo, right? As we said before, food tour and everything. Then we go to the Grand Egyptian Museum, right? Admission to the museum is included. It's going to start in the morning, right? Exploring the exterior gardens around the museum, all of the different scenic views and things to take in. In the museum, they have cafes and stuff like that where you can get coffee and stuff like that. But just going in, admiring the architecture and all of the amazing displays. As you can see, this is actually a picture from that museum with the Ramsey statue. So there's a lot going on there, and it's going to be a guided tour also of the limited access areas of the museum. So it's not just a regular ticket to the museum, right? We're going to also be going to the limited access areas. So that's really going to be cool. And it's just speaking about later on during that tour, we'll be doing the limited access tour, right? Going to the limited access areas of the museum with a knowledgeable tour guide. And it's just got some examples. You'll see the hanging obelisk of Ramses II, grand staircase, the Ptolemaic king and queen victory columns, several more amazing things that we'll get to see that's in that limited access portion of the tour. So that'll be a great opportunity for those who want to participate in that. And then moving forward on the 14th, right, we have another tour planned. It's an all-day tour. So this is something that we would participate in the morning and just be out there for almost 8 hours, right? And this is going to be doing several things. So one hand is going to the Egyptian Antiquities Museum, which is a totally different museum, right? And obviously Egypt has all of this incredible history going on. So there's actually several museums in Egypt. The Grand Egyptian Museum and the Egyptian Antiquities Museum are huge, really big deal, right? As far as museums in the world. So we'll be going there. Also checking out Coptic Cairo. And then, as it says up here, Bazaar, that's going to be going to the old Medina. The old Medina is the old city. So like this picture you see up here where you have all the different vendors and the outdoor market. We're going to go and check that out. So this is going to cover a lot of the top attractions in Cairo. And it's going to be a guided tour. So we'll have an actual Egyptian who's going to be showing us around, right? Exploring the ancient portion of the city. Also checking out the Coptic history of the city, which is like the old Christian and Jewish history in that city. And this is going to be on a private tour in an air-conditioned vehicle. Of course, giving us time to get out and go and check out the markets. And of course, going to the museum, transportation, lunch, and admission, all of that's included. There's hotel pickup, drop off. You see on here, it says bottled water private tour. Tipping, of course, is optional. That's recommended, but that's up to you. But lunch at a local restaurant, expert tour guys. It's going to be a great opportunity. So definitely recommend that to people, but it's up to you, right? You can also just go off and freestyle, do your own thing, right? That's on the 14th. Just some more things on there. Just saying what to expect. 2 hours, give or take, in the Egyptian Museum of Antiquities. Once again, just hotel pickup, drop off. That museum has over 120,000 items, right? It's amazing. Just that alone. And then Coptic Cairo, going through the old Cairo, the Babylon fortress, the Hanging Church, the Greek Church of St. George, all of these different Coptic churches, the old Islamic, right, strongholds, the old Islamic era, and also the old Christian and Jewish area. So it says here, Synagogue Ben Ezra, the Hanging Church. And then when it says Khan al-Khalili down here at the bottom, right, says 2 hours free admission. That's the famous bazaar. That's the Medina, or the old city, right, in the historic center of Cairo. And so this is like one of the main attractions for not just for tourists, but for Egyptians, right? This is where Egyptians come to shop. So you have people selling meat, all types of clothing, all types of items. This is where you have the people that are like bargaining and things of that nature. And this stuff has been going on for literally thousands of years. So yeah, this will be an amazing thing to witness for everyone. And that's January 14th. Then moving forward, on the 15th, you see up here, it says January 15th, Great Pyramid, or the Giza Pyramid, the Giza Complex, the Sphinx. We're gonna see the Sphinx, the Great Pyramids, on the Giza Complex, camel ride, right, and that's like a whole day tour. It's about 8 hours. And then the 16th is gonna be a free day, right, for everyone to relax or just get out, enjoy Egypt. Even really just being at the hotel is gonna be amazing as well. But just getting back to this, the 15th, right, these are the can't miss things that you have to experience, right, when you go to Egypt, even maybe even just at least once in your life, right? So we're going to the Giza plateau. um we're we're also going to Memphis, which is Egypt's first capital. Also going to Saqqara, right? Saying so going to the Giza complex, we're gonna see the pyramids there, also the Great Sphinx, and then also going to Saqqara and Memphis. So this is really gonna be an incredible thing and to experience, and we'll be doing it with a professional driver and tour guide, and actually a qualified Egyptologist for the tour guide. So it's not just somebody just walking around and pointing to things and not understanding what's going on. So this is really going to be a great experience. Also, we'll have an authentic Egyptian lunch with views of the pyramid. And once again, I said camel ride. So that camel ride is actually going to be on the Giza Plateau. If you're interested in it, 30-minute camel ride in Giza. Um, and hotel pickup and drop off and VIP lunch in the restaurant with the view of the pyramids. So really great experience. Also, not just walking around the pyramids, but also going inside if you're interested, right? If you're interested, you'll be able to go in the pyramids too. Um, just a more detailed explanation here on the pyramids of Giza. Says up here 2 hours, admission ticket included. You'll meet your Egyptologist tour guide at the lobby of your hotel, 8 a.m. First out will be the Giza pyramids, where you will wonder at the Great Pyramid of Cheops, the only remaining wonder of the seven wonders of the ancient world, as well as the pyramids of his son Khephren and his grandson Mycerinus. Then you will move up the Giza plateau to the panorama, which is the highest point of the plateau, to see the three pyramids all together and take great pictures. Get prepared to start your adventure on the camel in the Sahara Desert around the pyramids. You will ride your camel for 30 minutes, right? Great. Also, moving forward, the Great Sphinx, admission ticket included also for that. Explore with your qualified tour guide the history of this statue for Egypt. Then you can take some pictures, then headed to the launch. The Saqqara pyramids also, right? Admission ticket included. Be with your guide to see the oldest step pyramid of Giza, where you'll be able to see and get inside the pyramids of King Titi and some tombs for nobles of Egypt, right? Pyramids of Dashur. You'll be able to visit the Dashur pyramids with your guide and to get inside the Red Pyramid and marvel to see the Bent Pyramid, right? Great Pyramid of Cheops or Khufu, that's covered in the tour. Menkaure Pyramid, also covered in the tour. And Khafre's Pyramid, also covered during the tour. So you're going to have an amazing world-class experience getting around Giza, going into the pyramids, and then also getting to ride that camel as well if you want. Now, more than likely, there's going to be several of us riding the camels, even if we don't all do it. So we'll actually have a camel train where, like the camel you see on the screen, his camel will be tied to a camel in front of it, and then a camel in back of it, and so we'll all be traveling like on a caravan, right, of camels. So really going to be an amazing experience, people. Then, as I said before, though, the 16th, free day. Whether you just want to relax or recoup or just get out and travel, just get out and go and explore Cairo on your own. Now, on the 17th, we're going to Luxor, and Luxor is a far drive, but it's a short flight. So we're gonna take a short flight to Luxor, and that's all gonna be included in the trip, right? It says up here Luxor day trip, 10 to 12 hour tour with flight included. That's not the flight, that's the whole day, including the flight out there, flight back, travel back and forth, hotel pickup and drop off, tour guide, everything, right? So Luxor is amazing in and of itself. If you see up here on the screen in the bottom right hand corner, you have the Temple of Hatshepsut, right? You have the Temple of Luxor. You have the Temple of Karnak. There's so much to experience here. The Valley of the Kings is just amazing. So this is definitely like one of, as it says here, one of Egypt's most standout attractions. Um, but we do have to travel to get there. So we're gonna go ahead and fly out there instead of driving, which would take way longer. So it's gonna be an action packed day trip, as it says here, to Luxor from Cairo by flight. And you may say, hey, I'd rather just stay in Cairo and explore. That's up to you. But if you want to go to Luxor, you are never gonna forget it. It's gonna be amazing and great. Um, Lunch, it's saying lunch here in Luxor won't be covered. That's at your own expense. That'll be at a local restaurant. Once again, this is going to be an all day trip, so we are going to want to eat while we're out there. But what's included? Flights included, hotel pickup, drop off, tour guide, a qualified Egyptologist guide, right? Um, it says lunch is included on here. We'll have to check with the a local tour guide. That's Egypt Tours Online. We'll check just to make sure. But everything pretty much is covered or included except for tipping, right? And then we'll receive confirmation within 48 hours of booking, right? So if you're interested, just let us know if there's anything that we're mentioning on the itinerary that you're not interested in, right? You can see the recommendations up here, just saying it's not wheelchair accessible, um, not recommended for travelers with back problems, pregnant travelers, no heart problems or other serious medical conditions. I'm just going to say the main reason this is going to be saying this is because there is going to be walking, a lot of walking. And then also, I mean, this Temple of Hatshepsut that's down in the right corner, you've got all of these steps to climb up. So it will be a workout, as far as being active, doing a lot of walking and going up a lot of steps and things of that nature. So, if you know that's a little too much for you, hey, you have the whole day to explore Cairo, and there is plenty to do in Cairo. Okay, just in Cairo alone. But that includes right the flight out there and back, hotel pickup and drop off. Will be an amazing experience if you do choose to go. Um, as it says here, door to door transportation from your Cairo or Giza hotel to the airport. Right, then you catch the flight to Luxor. Um, Once you arrive, your local guide there in Luxor is going to take you on the tour to these millennia old temples, right? These temples are thousands of years old. All right, we're going to see the great statue of Ramses. We're going to see a lot out there. We're going to the Valley of the Kings. It's going to be amazing. So it's saying um, starting in Cairo at 3:30 a.m., we're getting up really early, getting picked up from the hotel. We're going to meet the guide. We're going to fly out there to Luxor and then first going to the Valley of the Kings, right? The Valley of the Gates or Valley of the Kings. I'm going to check that out. And then we're going to the Temple of Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut was a female pharaoh, right? A lot of people don't know that. Then we're going to the Colossi of Memnon. We're also going to the Luxor Temple, right? Which is an amazing site that I think everybody's going to want to experience, right? So we're going to go to the Luxor Temple. And then also we will see, while there, we'll see the Temple of Ramses II. We're going to go to the Temple of Karnak as well. Okay. And this is also another amazing experience. You're going to love it. Just going to be mind blowing. And then after that, we will head back to Cairo. Moving forward on January 18th, the whole day is pretty much up to you. Free day. I mean, just coming back from Luxor, you may just want to relax, rest, or may just want to go to a restaurant or something in Cairo and just take it easy. That evening, though, we would like to take a dinner cruise. And that's up to you, of course, whether you want to do that or not. Dinner cruise may be anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. That dinner cruise will be on a cruise ship on the Nile River, right? So it's really going to be an amazing way to experience Cairo. In addition to being on that cruise ship, there's going to be an open buffet. So it is a dinner cruise, right? So everything's going to be included in that. We'll have the open buffet for dinner. There's going to be a belly dance performance. There's going to be a tenora spinner and a Nubian show, the Nubian folk music, where you'll see a picture of it on here, just an example, but really going to be amazing experience, right? So we'll see the Cairo skyline and gliding down the Nile River on a dinner cruise, right? Open buffet with live entertainment. Um, Amazing experience. And everything's included on that, right? The pickup from the hotel and return, all that's included except for tipping. So food is included. I think beverages, okay, yeah, it says on here beverages on cruise not included. So other than that, the buffet, everything's included. um, just for more information or more details, well, you can see there's a picture of like from the Nubian um, folk music, folk art, right? Just really going to be a great experience. And so there'll be belly dancers, there'll be the folk show, and then also the food as well. And then on the 19th, we're pretty much just taking it easy. That's just going to be a full free day, whether you just want to relax, get ready, prepare for the next destination, or of course, it's a full free day. You can, check out other parts of Cairo, do whatever you want. But on the 20th, January 20th, we're going to check out our hotels and catch our flight to Tunisia. Okay. And so we're going to be leaving on the 20th to Tunisia. And when we arrive in Tunis, Carthage International Airport, right, we will be arriving in there on the 20th from Cairo. Of course, free day, nothing else planned. Hopefully, we all will be on the same flight or getting in there around the same time. But, that's just going to be a free day for us to relax, get settled in. Um, on the 21st, though, we will be pretty much seeing almost everything there is to see in Tunis and Carthage, right? We're going to have the tour of Tunis, Carthage, City Bou Said, which is what you see up here on the left corner where you see the white and blue buildings that are like right there on the Mediterranean Sea. That's going to be an all day tour. So that's an 8 hour tour starting in the daytime, right? And really incredible experience again. I know I say that a lot, but this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that actually has the Carthage ruins that have still been maintained, and just really amazing experience. Whether you are interested in history or not, you'll be blown away. And also seeing just the architecture that's been kept up, even with Sidi Bou Said, where you have these old buildings, this old style of with the white paint and white and blue paint. This is something that you'll see throughout the Mediterranean wherever the Moors lived, right? So it's just going to be an amazing experience to take in. And the hotel pickup, drop off, all that's included. Just to get into some more details, on the 21st, we're going to be going to the Medina of Tunis, which is the old city. You can see up here on the right hand side where you have that gate looking um, structure, architect structure. That's actually right in front of our hotel where we're going to be staying at. And that was the entrance to the old city. And so, once again, when you have those Medinas, that's where you have those old ancient streets with the open air market. So you'll have people selling all types of items, clothing, shoes, food, artisans, right? All types of amazing things will be sold there. So it'll be great, to experience. We'll all be able to go out there and explore and see that. And then next, going to another neighborhood in the area. It's called La Golette, and it's I think it's famous for its beauty. Like it has a lot of terraces, a lot of cafes and restaurants, and it's right next to the sea. So it's right next to the Mediterranean. Just beautiful sight. We'll also be checking out the archaeological sites from Carthage, ancient Carthage, that have actually been kept up for thousands of years, right? And I mean thousands of years. So this is ancient and just amazing. We'll see that with our own eyes, and then also going to Sidi Bou Said, which you see down here in the right hand corner, right with the white and blue buildings on the Mediterranean, very distinctive. blue and white colors, cobbled streets, right? You have these incredible blue waters of the Mediterranean, and you can actually see, I believe, Sicily. I believe you can actually see the island of Sicily from that point in Sidi Bou Said, right? So it's really amazing. And as it says here, you have the distinctive architecture, right? A mix of Ottoman and Andalusian, right? A result of the influx of Spanish Muslims in the 16th century. So this is what the Moors were doing in these sites, right, along the Mediterranean, building these cities and towns that look like this. And so this has been kept up to this day, to the modern day, and just be an amazing experience to take in. And being in Sidi Bou Said, they have all of these different cafes and shops, things for us to check out as well. So just a great experience to have there in the wonderful country of Tunisia. And then on the 22nd, we will be catching our flight from Tunisia to Casablanca, Morocco. So we will have a direct flight from Tunis to Casablanca. So that whole day, pretty much will just be about getting into Morocco and getting settled in our hotel there. And so there's nothing really planned on that day. The 23rd, the next day, we will be taking a city tour of Casablanca, right? During the day or the evening. That's really up to you. So we have an optional evening tour. Some of you may want to do both. You might want to do the day tour and the night tour, but I'll explain why, right? So during that day tour, some of the areas, some of the restaurants and places that we're gonna pass by, they may not be open, right? We will see a lot of things that will be open, is such as the Hassan Mosque, Hassan the Second Mosque, right, which you can see up here in the right hand corner. We'll be going to the old Medina in Casablanca too, with the open air markets and so many things there that you can only find in Morocco, right? And so everything's included in this as well. The door to door transportation, right? Tour guide, everything that we need, multilingual tour driver, all of that will be included, right? Hotel pickup and drop off also from the hotel. I mean, from the airport as well. That's all included. So, just to get some more information, in the day tour, it's just going to start off with visiting the Hassan the Second Mosque. You can see the inside of it in this picture up here on the right. It says Rick's Cafe. Rick's Cafe is not too far from the mosque, so we'll be walking. We will be walking. Keep that in mind as well. But this Rick's Cafe is actually where they filmed the old movie Casablanca, right? So it's a spot that a lot of people like to go to and check out. It won't be open though during the daytime. You may want to go on the night tour if you actually want to go in there and eat. There's actually several places though to eat, so that's not really an issue as far as finding somewhere to eat. We're gonna go to the old Medina of Casablanca, which is the open air markets. Quartier Habous, right? That's the square near the royal palace of Casablanca. Church of Notre Dame of Lourdes. You have an amazing cathedral, right? The architecture is amazing, incredible. Arab League Park, the biggest green space in the city, and it's right in the heart of Casablanca. As you can see, just up here with some of the architecture, when you're reading this and it says, "Oh, we're gonna see the gardens in Morocco," this is what we're talking about. Where you see like this picture up here with the palm trees lined up, and you have like this long pool of water, right? So you're going to be taking in some amazing, beautiful sights, right? And then Casablanca is also on the sea. It's right there on the Mediterranean. So it's just going to be an amazing experience. That is the Hassan Mosque, too, down here in the left or the right hand corner. The Square of Muhammad V, the United Nations Square, and then March Central Casablanca. So just a lot of amazing sights to take in. Um, all of it's not going to be walking. We'll also have transportation, right? But there will also be a lot of walking, especially going through the Medinas and things of that nature. So you do want to keep that in mind. If anyone is, you know, not interested in doing a day tour, we'll also be touring the city at night. That's also another option as well. Seeing Casablanca at night is a totally different experience, and not because it's not safe. Most people that travel to Morocco say that it's a very safe place to visit, right? So taking it in at night because of the lights, the the activity that's going on. It's a totally different experience. So we're going to be doing the night tour as well. Even just looking at the Hassan, the mosque from the outside, right at night where everything's lit up. It's an amazing experience for those who love to take photos. Be an amazing picture experience. Some of the places that we'll pass by in the daytime, going there at night, going to be totally different where everything's lit up, right? We're also, for those that are interested, eating dinner at the Dar El Qaid restaurant, where you have traditional Moroccan food. Um, you have some examples up here of what's on the menu. They gotta have chicken, beef, or fish, or vegetarian, right? Authentic Moroccan foods, taktuka, zalouk, right? Um, During the dinner, they also have live Andalusian dinner show. So you're gonna have Moroccan um, instruments and singing going on. And the pictures that you just see up here, down here in the bottom right hand corner, this is like the inside of Dar El Qaid. So it's just an immaculate building, incredible Moroccan architecture, just beautiful, beautiful, amazing place to be at and to eat at. So that'll be an amazing experience for those who want to partake in that. That's why I'm saying it'd be a totally different experience tonight. You can see a picture of here up here of the Hassan II Mosque, just lit up, while the sun's going down. Just beautiful chances, for opportunities for pictures. Also going to the old Medina, even though it's nighttime, there's still vendors out there. Once again, it's all lit up, so it's a totally different experience at night. And not going to as many places as in the daytime, but still, hitting several different spots to give you a feel for for Casablanca and for the authentic Moroccan experience, right? So great experience to take in for those that are interested. And then some people may want to do the day and the night tour, right? Totally up to you. All right. And then that next day on the 24th, hang on the 24th, we plan to go to Marrakech, right? And so Marrakech is going to be a full day tour, right? From Casablanca, getting picked up from Casablanca, riding down to Marrakech in an air conditioned vehicle, right? With a private tour. So we'll have a tour guide and a driver, a registered historian is going to be our tour guide. We also, when we get down to Marrakech, we're going to have camel rides that for those who are interested. So we'll get picked up at the hotel in Casablanca, and then go down to Marrakech with a multilingual driver, right? And so Marrakech too, if you see down here in the right hand side, you see the big, huge gate, the Moorish archway, right? This is around the old Medina. So we keep talking about going to the Medinas because the Medinas in these other ancient cities really give you a tie into the ancient culture and how the people there live, especially in Marrakech. You see a picture up here of the Medina in Marrakech. You definitely want to go to the Medina while we're in Marrakech because this is where you'll see the snake charmers if they're out there that day. Like the stuff that you see in the movies and things of that nature, like this is where it really happens. So, definitely for those that are interested, Marrakech will be an amazing experience. It's saying to expect about 12 hours, so really going to be there all day. Um, Takes approximately 3 hours to reach Marrakech. Keep that in mind too, in case you don't want to be in a car for that long, right? So, leaving Casablanca, driving 3 hours to Marrakech, and then going to check out the different sites in here is saying La Palmeraie. We'll have the experience to be on an escorted camel tour ride or camel ride tour if we want, right? To go around the palm grove. That'll be amazing for those that want to do that. And then checking out some of the amazing gardens, some of the mosques. Um, there's this place called the Bahia Palace, right? It's an amazing palace. Now, admission to some of these places are not included. We can ask to see, the price to get admission included is if it's possible. Some of these places we may have to pay at the location, right? But the Bahia Palace, I believe this is an example of this right up here. I've seen some pictures and video of the Bahia Palace. Haven't been there before, but it's amazing, right? I do know that. So also, as I said before, going to the Medina and the Marrakech. If you don't go to the Medina anywhere which I do suggest you go to the one in Cairo, right? But if you don't go to any of the Medinas, you definitely want to go to the one in Marrakech. All right. And then we'll be catching the ride back to Casablanca. So also dropping us back off at the hotel. And then on the 25th, we're going to catch our flight from Casablanca to our final destination, which is Granada, Spain. Right. So on that 25th, we'll be taking a flight from Casablanca to Granada. For most of us, there should be a connecting flight in Madrid. Right. So we're flying Casablanca, Madrid to Granada. Okay. In the Granada, the main attraction will be the Alhambra. Right. For us, the Alhambra is one of Spain's most visited landmarks, as you see up here. Another UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is pretty much everywhere that we're going has these UNESCO World Heritage Sites because those people in that area contributed so much to culture that it even had an effect on modern day civilization, right? So those places had to be kept up. And that's how it is in Tunisia, Cairo, Morocco, and Granada, Spain, right? Because of the Moorish influence in these places. So we will be going to the Alhambra. Um, when we're in Granada, though, you can pick between morning or afternoon tour times, right? We'll meet the guide and we'll head right in. We get to skip the line, so we don't have to wait in line for our tickets, right? We'll be able to go straight in. In the Alhambra, you have the Alcazbar, the Nasrid palaces, which a lot of the tours of the Alhambra don't even include the Nasrid palaces. So this is going to be special because we're checking out everything that is important, right? The Palace of Carlos V, right? The General Life Villa. We're going to see some amazing sights. The stuff that you see up here on the screen, we're going to see all this and more. You're going to be blown away, right? We'll have a professional guide. We are guaranteed to be able to skip the lines. The lines are long. People come here from all over the world all the time, right? And then the Alhambra and the Nasrid palaces are also included, which is important. A lot of people don't know to visit the Nasrid palace, right? And moving forward, I would say to keep in mind though, there will be a lot of walking. There will be a lot of walking, right? Because the Alhambra is huge. You can see the picture down here on the bottom right where the Alhambra is just humongous. Okay. So you can see on here where it gives the overview for that day tour, it is 3 to 5 hours approximately, right? The Alhambra, 2.5 hours, right? Located on the Sabika Hill. The Sabika Hill is more like a mountain. Okay, and so this is huge. It's an Andalusian Palatine city. Its name comes from the reddish color of its walls, right? Coming from the clay of the land itself, Alhambra in Arabic. It's a group of palaces, gardens, and fortresses, right? There was a citadel within the city of Granada itself, right? So this is just going to be an amazing World Heritage site to take in. We're going to have an official guide. We're also going to see the Alcazba, right? This is the oldest part of the Alhambra. We'll, as I kept mentioning, visit the Nasrid palaces. They're part of the palace complex of the Alhambra. Um, you have two independent palaces, the Palace of Camares and the Palace of the Lions. Just going to be an amazing experience to take in. The Palace of Carlos V, right? This is another thing to think about when the Spanish took over, right, Granada from the Moors. They respected it enough to keep these things up, right? They took on those palaces for themselves. So really just, they saw the greatness of it and kept it going. So we're going to get the full experience, right? Palacio El Partal and General Life is where you have several villas with gardens. Was incredible, used by the Muslim kings of Granada as a place of retreat and rest. So this is where the Moors went to relax and, to vacation. So back in the days. So yeah, just an incredible experience to take on. That's going to be on January 26th. And then also we have on here just an optional evening experience. And we added this because there's an authentic Moroccan bathhouse there in Granada, right? It's called Hammam Al Andalus. Okay. And so they give you the real Arabian bath experience. And the pictures that you see up here from the screen on the screen are actually from that Hammam Al Andalus um building, right? So they have the traditional Moroccan baths, which the Moroccan baths, you get in, they actually pull your toxins and things out of your skin, like to the surface of the skin, right? So it's just an amazing, like totally different than taking a bath or getting in the shower and scrubbing, like thorough cleansing, like on a different level. Plus, they do massages and all of that. So for anyone that's interested in that spa experience, right, this will be an amazing trip, or not trip, but an amazing thing to experience while you're there in Granada and in the traditional Moroccan way as well. But however, in the hotel that we're staying in Morocco, the Senador Hotel, which you can see the pictures of, these are actually from that hotel in Granada. They also have spas there. The baths also they do the you know Moroccan style. It's a little more modern, right? So you can just do that right there at the hotel if you want. But if you also, we have that as an option, just something that we looked up. If you'd like to check that out, that option is there for you as well. You could do that at the hotel, or you could just wait till you get back home. That's up to you. But just wanted to just share that just in case anyone was interested. When we did put in the pricing examples, we did put in for including the Arabian bath experience at the Hammam Al Andalus. So if you're not interested, just let us know. We just put that in there because I thought that would be really cool for people to experience while you're there. But that is totally up to you. So getting to the accommodations, right? The details. So we do have pricing here, including everything: tours, accommodations, the inner travel between the different countries out there, and all of that. So let's go ahead and go over that. Just starting with Egypt, right? Since we'll be spending the most time there, 8 nights in Egypt. Pricing examples are for January, that time while we'll be out there, and we're looking at two hotels that are rated 4-star hotels that are on the Giza Plateau, and they both have like 20 to 25 rooms. So they're not huge, but they look like great places where you can actually see the Giza pyramids from both hotels. Some of the rooms you can see the pyramids from, but everyone can see the pyramids from the rooftop where they have like their restaurants at. So both hotels have restaurants, and people come there just to go to the restaurants, right? So and these are both on the Giza plateau and literally like within walking distance of the pyramids. And when I say walking distance, it is going to be a walk. It's not like it's only 200 feet or something like that, but they are walking distance. But both of these hotels around the same price. If they have enough accommodations for us, like our group, and we stay there, we're looking at around 570 for 8 nights, which is an amazing price, right? And that includes breakfast and airport shuttle. Okay, and then moving to our next destination, which is Tunisia. Okay, we're looking at the hotel you see up here on the screen. I believe the Royal Victoria, right, in a great location. Um, just amazing. That hotel in and of itself, like inside and out, looks amazing. It's also has a restaurant, has great reviews, and that looking at that 2 nights there, that's gonna be around 180, right? And then Morocco will just be staying in Casablanca. So Casablanca 3 nights, we are looking at around 255 total, and this where this is located, it's right in the heart of everything too, in Casablanca, close to the coastline, close to a lot of the places that we're going to be visiting, like the Hassan Mosque, not that far from the Medina and some of the other amazing sites. So, even if there's like, some of those days, or if there's like, say, for example, in Casablanca, you don't necessarily want to go to Marrakech, you just want to stay there, there'll be plenty of stuff for you to do if you just want to get out and explore. And so where all of these hotels are like that. Everything that's up here on the screen. Granada last place we'll be there 2 nights. We're looking at 182 at the Senador in Granada. Amazing hotel. Also, I believe 4-star hotel. Has everything there. Has a restaurant as well. They have a spa. They can do massage and all of that there. With the spa with the Turkish baths and things of that nature. Just amazing accommodations. So it'll be great. We're looking for the total accommodation cost for the whole trip, 1,187. That's an estimate for that time in January. Um, Great stay. We also have other options too, just in case those hotels in Giza aren't able to accommodate us all because they do they're both smaller, like 20 to 25 rooms. So just in case, we're also looking at bigger hotels, but nice, right? We're looking at the Ramses Hilton or something similar to that. Now the price is more expensive, right? The Ramses Hilton, right? 570, and then the Ramses Hilton looking at for the same time 1,160 for it, but that's for 8 nights. And it is a 5-star hotel. The pictures down here for the Ramses Hilton, these 3 pictures, and the Ramses Hilton's right there on the Nile River, right? The accommodations are great, right? That includes breakfast, airport shuttle, um, great accommodations, and they should have enough rooms for all of us, right? Regardless of how big our travel group is, right? And just in case, we all want to stay in the same location. However, we don't all have to. I mean, if you'd rather stay right there on the Giza Plateau, that option is definitely there. Just keep in mind that they have less rooms, and that area may get filled up because they're right next to the pyramids, so they might not have enough room. So we got to keep that in mind. The Ramses is not. It's a drive. You're not going to be able to walk or take like a short trip to get to the Giza Plateau. But just keeping that in mind, and it's more expensive, but I mean, it's not really when you consider how many nights you're staying. It's not. And then we're gonna show the total pricing, but another thing to keep in mind, right, with the hotel accommodations, when we do the total pricing, we do per person, and that's because obviously, if you're coming, you're gonna get your own room, right? But if you're coming with with your spouse, right, then that per person cost is actually going to be less because you're only going to get one room. And most of these rooms, that price is for double occupancy, like, for 2 adults, 1 or 2 adults, or maybe even 2 adults and one child, right? So the per person cost for you, like if it's two of you or, 2 adults, one child, it's probably going to be less than what we're estimating it at because you're only going to need one room. Okay. So just keep that in mind also with the pricing. Um, in country flights, the flight from Cairo to Luxor was included in the tour price. The Cairo to Tunis is 260 per person. Tunis to Casablanca, 140 per person. And then Casablanca to Granada, Spain is only 190 per person, right? So the total flight costs, for the whole trip, like flying to all those different countries, only 590 per person. But keep in mind those international flights from the U.S. to Egypt and then back home from Spain, those are not included. So we'll have to do those. If you want us to do those flights for you, we can do that as well. But that we'll have to do that and add it to the total cost. So that's the only thing that's not in here in these costs because it's going to be different for everybody. Going back to the grand total, the total tour costs, right, for each of those countries, everything comes to 625 per person. Accommodation costs 1,187 per person. Right, that's for all the hotels, and then the total flight costs 590 per person, and then the total trip costs, right, for everything except for your flights from the U.S. and back to the U.S. is 2,402 per person. But keep in mind, right, if you're traveling with your spouse or spouse and a child, that total trip cost actually is going to be a little bit less than that per person because you only need one room, right? Now, if you have four or more people, I don't know, you may need more rooms or a bigger room. Price might go up. But yeah, if it's like two or three, you know, two adults, right? The actual total price per person is going to be less than that. Now, if you're staying in the Ramsey's Hilton, the price will be higher, but that price is still not going to be per person. So it's 1,160 for, one room. That's not really the price per person, right? Um and then just going back over what's included in the package. All tours and activities listed are included. All the in-country flights between destinations, four-star accommodations with select meals, except for the Ramses. If we stay at the Ramses Hilton, that'll be five-star. Professional guides, transportation for all excursions, right? So you don't have to go and figure all that stuff out. All that stuff's included. Only things not included. Some of the meals that I mentioned weren't included, but most of them were. But also like tipping, things of that nature. There were some things, especially in Marrakech, some of the places that you might want to visit, like the Bahia Palace. The tickets weren't included, but pretty much everything else, all everything was already included in there, right? So if you'd like to secure your spot today, contact my wife, Drusilla Velez Douglas L. She is a licensed travel agent. If you don't have the phone number, lock that in. It is 614-743-0115. Definitely save that phone number. Email is easytravelfreedom@gmail.com. The website is also www.easytravelfreedom.com. That is her travels agent website. And we'd love to see you on this trip. Join us for this once in a lifetime journey. It's going to be amazing. I do have a couple questions up here to answer just in case anyone has them. Before I do that, just gonna go over the cost again one last time, including everything, including the in-country flights to the different countries. Total cost 2,402 per person. But remember, if you're traveling with your spouse or spouse and child, those total prices are actually less per person because you only need one room. So that's only accounting for people that need a room for themselves per person. Okay. So yeah, I did have a few questions just to go over because when you're traveling, especially traveling to Muslim countries, it is a little bit different. So there's a couple things I'm going to cover, just 15 questions, um, just concerning travel to Egypt for people that have never been. Um, some of these questions you might say, "Hey, I already knew that," but this is just to cover everything in general. So, do they speak English in Egypt? And the answer given here is yes, even though for the most part they speak Arabic. But guess what? In Egypt, especially in Cairo, they get people from all over the world. So you'll find that there are many people that are multilingual, right? Maybe way more people that are multilingual than here in the USA. So even though it would help us all to learn some basic Arabic, even if all you know is shukran, which is how you say thank you, right? Just being able to say thank you goes a long way because it shows that you're polite, that you're nice, that you want to be friendly, right? So just learning a few basic Arabic phrases can help a lot. But in Egypt, not only do a lot of people speak English, but they also speak French. They also speak Spanish. They speak, a whole bunch of other languages, right? So, definitely learn some basic Arabic phrases, right? Even if it just, helps you be able to chat with people in their own language, right? But a lot of people speak English. And then bargaining, right? If you're going to and this isn't just for Egypt, but just in general, if you're going to the bazaars, the old Medinas, right? Prices aren't necessarily set like they are here at the store, right? So you are expected to actually bargain or haggle a little bit, right, to come up with the price, right? Now, you don't have to, if you don't want to, but a lot of people that live there and that are used to that, when they go out to shop, when they go out to the markets, they do that, and it's not even a burden for them, right? Because they're used to it. So just sharing that, keeping that in mind. What should I wear in Egypt? Which is pretty important because a lot of us don't know, right? Dress in clothing that breathes well. Keep in mind it will be there in January, so in many of the places it will be a little chilly. Now Luxor is hot all year round, right? But in Cairo, maybe a little chilly, right? Also, just advisable. Some mosques ask that you cover your hair when visiting, and that can go for men and women, but especially for women, right? Especially for women tend to have longer hair, right? It's just going to be expected for you to cover your hair just to be respectable. Keep in mind though that in places like even in Egypt, um, they know they have foreigners coming here all the time, so they're not gonna be like looking at you, expecting you to observe all of their cultural or religious expectations, right? It's just not right. But however, keep in mind it is advisable to cover your arms, shoulders, legs, and chest, right? Especially when you're at somewhere that's conservative or religious monuments, you're at a mosque or something like that. And it's just saying on here, save your skin bearing outfits for the beach resorts and Western style hotels. And this goes for men too, right? Um, if it's not like family oriented, it's probably not really that acceptable to be out in, public wearing or doing. Um, if you don't like group tours, is it easy to travel solo? If you're traveling with your family or children, a tour is highly beneficial for maintaining your schedule and logistics. If you are a solo traveler, I suggest a personal guide to help you get around. A guide can help you maximize your time, introduce you to hidden gems, and take your picture at the sites. Can you climb the pyramids of Giza? No, you cannot climb the pyramids. If you do, you may find yourself in an Egyptian prison, right? And this person that's giving these questions and answers is saying that said they saw someone climb to the top of one of the Queen's pyramids. That's one of the smaller ones at Giza this week. However, you're allowed to hop on the first few stones, right? The massive stones at the base of the pyramid, take a photo. You can buy a ticket to go inside the pyramids, but if you're climbing them, you can get in trouble, right? You don't want to be in a prison in some foreign country. Are things cheaper in Egypt? Many things are cheaper, and many things are similar in cost to your home country. Really depends on your travel style. Budget travelers can travel easily within Egypt because there are lots of options, right? But just because things are cheaper doesn't mean you should tip less. Egypt is a tip centric culture, and you are expected to tip for nearly every interaction. Always keep small bills or baksheesh handy for tips. That's another thing too. In these countries, you may want to, especially in Morocco, and in Tunisia, you may want to go ahead and at least get some money exchanged into the local currency, right? And the reason is because in a lot of the shops, it's still cash centric society, right? It's still like that, not, oh, just cash app it to me or just tap your card and all that stuff, right? They're still moving off of cash. Okay. So you may, and also in Egypt, you may want to go ahead and exchange some money. You don't have to do that here, but you can do that in the hotel possibly. You can definitely do it in the airport when you get there, but then also um, at the hotel, especially probably at the Ramses Hilton, you can just change your money into the local currency, right? Um, Tips on what to avoid in Egypt: you should avoid tap water, ice cubes, the fruits and vegetables you can't peel, and some salad altogether. Avoid camels if you don't like bumpy rides. Just some examples, so that you don't have any stomach problems. And not only in Egypt, I would say Egypt, Tunisia, and Morocco. Don't drink tap water. Only drink bottled water. Okay, don't play around. Is Egypt safe for tourists? Everyone's opinion differs, but my feeling Egypt is much safer than the United States if I were to compare. Petty crime is rare. It's illegal to own guns, so there's that. Egypt also has the tourist police and soldiers at nearly every corner to patrol for safety. If you are a female solo traveler, use the same judgment you would in any country you are unfamiliar with. One other thing, too, just to keep in mind too for females that are traveling solo. Now, your experience probably would be a lot more different than mine because, like, for a lot of women that travel to countries like Egypt, for example, and Morocco, they do complain that, like, they're solo and they're walking around, they have their hair out and stuff, and they're dressed in the Western style clothing. They do get hassled by a lot of men, right? So that's something you want to keep in mind, right? Those same people say that if they're walking with a man, nobody even talks to them. People don't even look at them. But you want to keep that in mind, right? If you're a woman, you're traveling by yourself, you may want to cover up. You should cover up, but you may want to cover up because you know unless you want all that attention, right? And you might want to even cover your hair too. Um, Now, what should I know before going to Egypt? The most up to date information about monuments, museums, and temples is not online and subject to change on the mood of whatever official or organization you're dealing with in Egypt. And that applies to hours of operation, price, transportation, accommodations, customs, and everything else. My advice: expect the unexpected and stay flexible. Egypt is a mood. If you go with the flow, you will fall in love. Can unmarried couples stay together in Egypt? That's a good question because, well, let this answer explain. For unmarried couples, foreign unmarried couples may stay together in Egypt. Egyptian couples may not, as it is illegal. The same goes for an Egyptian man, foreign woman, or Egyptian woman, foreign man. It is illegal for them to stay together in a hotel. Keep that in mind. As long as you're American, okay, they let that fly because we're foreigners, right? That's for Egypt, Morocco, and I think Tunisia as well, right? So do keep that in mind. But hey, if you know you're American, not really gonna affect you. Do they drink alcohol in Egypt? Egypt is a Muslim country and Muslims are forbidden to drink alcohol. However, you will find at the Western style hotels and bars, they do tend to have bars that sell liquor, right? So, they're selling it to foreigners. So, that's an option too for people that drink alcohol. Are there any gestures inappropriate in Egypt? The left hand is considered unclean. Please do not use it to shake hands or to hand something to someone. Also, do not offer your hand to a Muslim woman to shake. It is not acceptable to touch a Muslim woman who is not your wife or relative. You must remove your shoes when you visit a mosque, and it's polite to do the same at someone's home. All right, can I bring a drone to Brazil for the people that want to take the incredible pictures and all that? Um, don't bring a drone and don't bring any pieces of your drone. You will not get through customs. You're gonna wind up losing your equipment or just raising suspicion. You're gonna have a hard time. Just leave it at home. Can I take pictures and videos everywhere? Do not photograph government buildings, military compounds, soldiers, police, or the general public in conservative areas, right? Don't go around thinking you're going to take pictures and video of all these people that didn't give you their permission. Be careful about photographing any area with trash, as Egyptian authorities are serious about preventing Egypt from being seen in a bad light. You may be approached and required to erase your footage. Photography at monuments and sites can differ drastically. Often you must pay a separate fee to enter with the camera, but this doesn't usually apply to your camera phone, right? And then some sites or areas do not allow cameras at all. Then just keeping that in mind, try not to bring too much photography equipment. It will raise red flags. Keep it simple, right? Now, everybody nowadays, you just bring your phone. Do I need a visa for Egypt? Yes, that's another thing to keep in mind. You can get the visa right at the airport for $25. It's not necessary to arrange a visa before you travel. However, you can get it up to 7 days before the flight online. It's not really a huge big deal. I mean, you have to have a visa to go into Brazil, but it's not something that you have to get like you can't even get it months ahead. I think the earliest you can get it is like what, like 3 weeks, either 3 weeks or 7 days. All right. So they're saying you can get it right at the airport for $25. Um, v- Egypt's the only country we'll need a visa for. Everything else you can just get in with your passport. Okay, and so that's it. Once again, any questions? Feel free to send us an email. Have a great day. Looking forward to seeing you, and hope you enjoy your vacation. Peace to everybody.